We take a wee look at how we set it up on Moodle. This should be fairly straightforward. So once you're in Moodle, open up your editing rights in the top right, switch on editing, and then add an activity or resource. So click here, and this will appear, and then you click on assignment. So this is the next window that appears. Fill in your details, save it, and now what you do to design your rubric, so you'll be brought back to the kind of a fairly blank looking window, but on the left hand side your administration window is always there, and you click on advanced grading. Select rubric. So now this is one of the areas where you might get a little bit. So this is what appears now. This is the name that I chose, and then you click here, and a drop down menu and rubric appears in this. So that's what you click. Define new grading form from scratch. And now just gave it the same name, give your rubric a name, and now this is where we fill in the criteria and the descriptors. Even though it looks like much at the moment, this is the engine here. So these are your criteria. So be it introduction, abstract, etc., whatever you're really looking for, and these are your descriptors of quality. And again, you can decide them, you can arrange them in ascending or descending order. You can give them point values or not. You can add new levels here. These are new descriptors. So if you want to have, say, 7 levels of description, that's no problem. You just keep adding levels here. And once you're done with one criteria, you just add another one here. So it's fairly straightforward, but this is really, in this page, is where your rubric is built. And this is where I was saying then it's a good spot to just cut and paste from your document, the rubric that you've already developed in maybe Word or Excel or whatever. So below that, there's quite a few options available. Take a wee look, see which ones suit you. Display points. So that's if you don't want points, say if you're just doing formative assessment, you might click that and that to switch off points. So it depends, on you. Allow grader to add text marks. Sorry, actually that's something I didn't note. Is you can, I thought it's here, it's on the next slide, but you can add notes as well. So for each criteria, this allows you add little text remarks, so you can add a little comment, must work harder, whatever, beside each criteria. So not just a general comment, within each criteria you can comment individually. And then you can show the remarks. Sometimes you mightn't want the students to see these remarks. You might just want them to be available for staff to look at. This is the little window where all of this stuff is decided. So it's worth having a good look. I have everything clicked on for this example. So save your rubric and make it ready. So as long as you've done everything correctly, it should be now ready to be displayed and used. So to use the rubric, simply click on the link on Moodle. This is what will appear. Separate your groups if you just want to mark one particular one. This is the group I use my rubrics for, 318 students. And you just simply click here, view, grade, all submissions. I just chose these names, obviously for confidentiality. I couldn't have real students' names up, But just this is another little space that you might get tricked. But to grade a rubric, you simply click on grade. But it's quite a small little button. Like if you this Moodle can look quite cluttered, so that's what you're looking for, is that little grade button there. And this is what will appear. Now this is where I said you're not allowed to put an empty set up here where you're defining your descriptors of quality. So I just simply define them here like this. So if you get 12 points, that exceeds the standard, meets the standard, etc. And what you simply do, you look at the title, the abstract, and you simply click on each button. You can write comments in here. Sorry. You know, very good. Obviously you just type them in or whatever. So with just like 7 clicks, you can actually give quite detailed feedback to the student. And then obviously don't forget to save. So they're very, very good. So what the student will then see is actually when they click on the link, the box that you've clicked on will be highlighted. So they'll simply see, they'll get the exact rubric back. They don't just see, they see the whole lot, but they see then the boxes you've clicked on to describe their performance in the assignment. And you can have general comments at the bottom as well. We often do that just to say, look, you need to really pull up your socks or whatever. So don't forget to save, obviously. And when the student clicks, they'll get to see, as I described, the rubric with the comments and the various bits on it. So as I've said a couple of times, they require a great deal of thought and reflection about what you're really trying to assess and how you're going to define it. That's the real work in rubrics. But sometimes it's probably not bad to do that anyway. The long term, the efforts expended, they're well worth it. And here, across the 4 ITs, Dundalk, Sligo, Athlone and Carlow, we hope to foster collaborations between our staff and students and beyond once we establish ourselves. And we also hope that other people who are teaching on similar courses can use our experiences on building rubrics and kind of help them along their own path. So that's essentially it. Thank you very much for listening.